Welcome, welcome again. And thank you, Citi, by the way. Thank you, Hennessy. And underneath your seat, there could be something that would lead you either to the centerpiece or a gift card up there. So you want to just check underneath your seat real quick. You'll have won something. So, all right. On that note, without further ado, we're going to bring on the captain, number 2, Derek Jeter. Thank you. All good.
Hello. Please. How are you?
I'm just wondering, like, when your career's over, you're gonna like walk into, have a family function. Are they gonna give you a standing ovation? Because it's been a whole season of just amazing tribute. How do you feel about that?
These seats are very uncomfortable, man.
Well, I have to get you a little on edge.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I can't just let you get too cozy here. Like a couch is not David Letterman. I mean,
it's been fun. It's been a fun year in terms of the interaction with the fans. Whether it's here in New York or on the road, it's all been an overwhelming experience for me, and it's something I never anticipated.
Well, before we get started, he's been doing this farewell tour. I figured this has got to be part of it. I mean, we've been together since the beginning, more or less, and we're so grateful. So we have a couple gifts for you, a couple things. And now, just so you know, I mean, this is almost like a grandson, Eric Levy here, who spends a lot of time where Derek Jeter's folding towels. Anyway, we have 2 signed balls, one by me and one by Eric Levy for Derek. Do you want to read the inscription? Or?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is a book that we created. Got to make a little bit of a pitch here, but we're actually selling this book. We made a special one just for you with all your favorite photos, all your favorite teammates. And I did put a couple pictures of me in there.
Of course, the first one's Brandon. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So, and it has all your favorite teammates in here. It's kind of cool.
Thank you.
And then, I have 2 other things here. We had to give you some cash. We have 2 $2 bills here.
Thank you.
I mean, you never know where this is going to be. It's like more of a good luck thing, but
thank you.
Put that right in your pocket there.
In the pocket.
And then, now, on a serious note, because we always have to give them a little bit of a hard time, we've been very involved with the Jeter's Leaders Program, my favorite program. Now, you started Turn 2 in '96. Mm-hmm. That's kind of when I was stalking you a little bit in that dinner. But
you started stalking me.
Started.
It hasn't stopped yet.
But this program, I mean, they do a lot of great programs. Mm-hmm. Turn 2, it's a great foundation. Very, very hands-on, to say the least. We've been the benefit of having some of the Jeter's leaders. So I was talking with Charlie, and what happens is you have these kids that they actually mentor through high school, ultimately to try to get scholarships to go to college. We've had some rock stars up at Steiner. And what happens is some of the kids, sometimes they go to college and they could be short a little bit of money, spending money. So we wanted to create a slush fund that we're going to be putting in every year going forward. We're going to start this slush fund, a little scholarship fund of $22,000.
Thank you.
And,
very nice. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
I just love this program. I mean, really, our whole company is so excited. If you haven't had a Jeter's leader, this is what it's all about. I mean, taking really tremendous talent and giving them the opportunity. I think it's just genius, really, what your family and Charlie and your mom and dad have done. So we wanted to get this going just because sometimes I just had the Jeter's leader. I said, what happens if he goes, well, hopefully I'm going to get a work-study job. So we just thought it would be nice to have a little slush fund.
Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So what I try to do is warm them up a little, and then we can, But speaking of, we really do love the Jeter's lead. First of all, I love Turn 2. It's just been great to be a part of it. I think a lot of people don't realize that a good portion of all this licensing, the patch, goes to turn two, and really has been
A lot
unbelievable.
of things have benefited. I mean, all my endorsement deals, they all have to give money to the foundation. Pretty much everywhere I've gone this season, other organizations have donated money to the foundation. So it's all going to a great cause. I mean, people talk about legacy on the field and playing, but I think what you do off the field is much more important. And we've been helping out a lot of kids throughout the years, and it's something my family is extremely proud of.
So I have to ask you this.
You don't have to
Just
ask
between
anything.
us.
You don't have to.
I mean, you've had a whole year. You still look marvelous. I mean, can we talk you out of this and maybe have you come back?
No, this is it. This is my last year now.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Like on a scale of 1 to 100?
Which one is going home?
So we've talked a lot about preparation. Like, how have you planned for retirement? Like, what's going on?
I've had things in the works, but I've always had a tough time focusing on more than one thing. I've spent my entire life pretty much focusing on this job, so I'll have plenty of things to focus on when my career is over with, but we still have games left.
Are things still up in the air as far as your plan?
Up in the air?
Yeah. As far as what you're going to do? Have you been in some senior homes, assisted living? Have you?
Brandon is twice my age, by the way. So
Yeah, as you've been getting older, I've been getting older, which is criminal.
Yeah, we all are getting older here.
Yeah.
But I'm making no plans at the beginning. I don't want plans. Yeah, I've been on a schedule my entire life. So
Has this season been the way you imagined it to be?
I didn't want to go into it imagining anything. I just wanted to experience it. But at the same time, we're trying to win games. So in that sense, it's been pretty much the same. But as we've gotten towards the end, it's become very special for me.
You still feeling you can go win 7 in a row here?
Well, we have to win today.
Got to win today.
Look that far in advance. You got to win one game at a time.
Well, we're in the last week.
I apologize if I don't know where my feet are supposed to go. I mean, this chair's got me messed up.
Well, I was thinking that we had done the thing up in the office when you had the boot on you,
Right.
and we were trying to get you. So for some reason, I thought this was going to work,
Right.
but obviously, not one of my smarter things we did here. But this is all me. I mean, let's get the bar stools. Which, by the way, let's actually make this a positive thing. Let's auction it. You know what we'll do is we're going to auction these off. We'll have Derek sign them, and all the money will go to turn 2. Wow, these are pretty cool. These are from the old stadium, these chairs. Because we had no idea what to do with all these seats. So we're trying to diversify the approach. So that's how we came to that. Do you have any of these in your sports room?
I do, Brandon.
A couple bar stools?
Not bar stools, but
Seats.
you gave me some seats. The ones I crashed into in the stands. You gave me.
The one that nobody was sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, talking about moments, give me a couple of your favorite moments, that you experienced at the stadium. We know winning is always one of them.
Yeah, winning is the most special moments. But I mean, I've had a lot of personal moments. 3,000 hit. Now, pretty much every time I take the field, it's a special moment. But all the moments include the fans. The fans are the ones, and I'm not just saying this because there's Yankee fans here, but the fans are the ones that make it special because, that's what we're doing it for.
Let's move to a little word association because I want to crank through a few things. Tell me what the first thing that comes to your mind. Joe Torre.
The best. He's, he's like a second father to me. He's gave me an opportunity to play, and I have the utmost respect for him.
Andy Pettit.
Andy's a gamer. I mean, he's a guy, he didn't care how he felt. He wants to be out there in big games, and we relied on him probably more than any starting pitcher that I've played with.
Mariano Rivera.
It's over. I mean, he's the best closer of all time. I mean, we played together since we were 18, since I was 18 years old. Mo was a lot older than me. Since I was 18 years old, we played together. So we have a special bond.
Michael Jordan. What's the bond there?
Well, I first met Michael when he was playing baseball. I was in the Arizona Fall League, and he was out there, and I just crossed paths briefly. And I was shocked that he knew who I was. because it's Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? And, you know, obviously being associated with Brand Jordan throughout the years, we've gotten closer and closer. He's like a big brother to me now. We're extremely close.
Who's the Yankee? Well, Tony Fernandez. Did you have a relationship with him as you took his job?
Not much of one. I came up for 2 weeks in '95 when he was hurt, and then when he came back, they sent me back down, and then I was up in September, and then spring training a little bit, but he broke his arm. He was playing second base, so not much. I don't know Tony well. He really treated me well, but I don't know him too good.
Was it a surprise to you in '96 actually find yourself starting going into the season versus where you ended up in the middle of the season, or did you think about that? Or?
Well, they had mentioned that I was going to be the starter, but I always looked at it as I had to win a job, so I never take anything for granted. And I really didn't have a great spring training, and then Tony broke his arm, and I think they were pretty much stuck with me.
When you think about the core four, going back to them, I always hear different things from Mariano, or I hear something from Posada, but did you guys have this kind of pact? Did you have this?
Well, I mean, I didn't play with Andy too much in the minor leagues until the end of 1994 when I was in the minor leagues. I played with him. Jorge, we got close in '95 when we were both in AAA. Mo, I played with the longest. But I think we all had the same attitude, the same demeanor. I think you can tell that right away. We never made excuses. We wanted to win. We played hard. And, I never had to worry about those guys.
Solid, except for that one time when Mo got lit up and then you went down to the minors. Did you give him did you give him a hard time about that, or?
Yeah, I did. We both cried, man. I mean, it's a true story. When I got called up in '95, Mo got called up as well, and he was a starter back then. So he got lit up, and they sent us both down, I think, for punishment on the same day. So we went back to the hotel, and we were crying and saying that we were going to be back, and we got to keep working hard, and we made it back.
I would say, who'd you look up to when you were a kid? Who'd you look up to?
Winfield.
Who's your role model?
Dave Winfield was my guy, yeah. Yeah, he was, for all these younger kids in here that actually don't go outside and play, they sit at home and play video games or they specialize in one sport. Dave was drafted in baseball, basketball, and football. He's the only player still to this day to be drafted in all three, so he pretty much did everything.
You had a game. I mean, you played besides baseball. What was your second sport?
Played basketball, yeah.
Shooter?
I was, yes.
Probably a ball hog. Or no?
That came down deep. I mean, you didn't even ask. You just accused me of it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, can you imagine? You're probably one of the, we got to give the ball to Jeter. You probably go in the huddle. You're probably tough to guard. You're tall.
You can have it. How long are we up here for?
We got a few more minutes.
I'll get you back.
I'm feeling like I figured, I said this to Mariano. We haven't quite gotten it together yet, but we got to go play a little 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. That's what I've been dying. It's like that's on my bucket list to see if he can see what kind of game he's got.
Well, all right. Well, first of all,
what?
Brandon thinks he's an athlete. Now we had this was a couple years ago. He, with a straight face, told me that he believes that he could get a hit off of Mo.
I said I could foul tip or at least get a bat on the ball.
I mean, I don't really have to say anything else. You guys know.
I would have loved that moment, but I said to Mariano, I said, look, we're ready to put up like $100,000 to see if this can happen. And then I said, but you can't be brushing me in, you can't hit me, because I would be in the hospital, obviously. And that was pretty much the end. She said, I don't know, I can't promise you that. I'm like, oh, God. Do you have any surreal moments? Anything, when you look back now, and it's been an amazing career, obviously, a lot of amazing moments. Anything surreal to you now when you look back on that?
The whole thing. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing. When you're a kid, there's a lot of kids here. My dream was to play shortstop for the Yankees, and that's where it stopped. You just want to make it to the major leagues. I mean, everyone pictures himself hitting a home run in the World Series, but everything else that's come along with this I could have never dreamt this. So I don't have to wake up for a few more games. So I'll just enjoy it.
There's so much talk about the numbers. How important is teamwork and chemistry and culture?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because, you know, when teams win, everyone says they had great chemistry. When they lose, they say they had terrible chemistry. You know, what is team chemistry? In my opinion, is when you have enough people who care about winning, you know, and enough people that losing affects. That's what chemistry means to me. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win, but you got to have enough people on the same page. It's almost impossible, I think, to get everyone on the same page, but it's got to mean something to you.
Is there a moment, you know, being the captain, the leader, is there a moment that you think about that you impacted the team or something that happened that you actually had an effect?
Well, I'd like to think I've had an effect a lot of days.
I think we all would agree to that.
And, you know, what I mean by that, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm saying what I mean by that is you have to have accountability. There's responsibility, but there's also accountability. You have to be accountable for your actions. You have to stand at your locker when things are going bad. If you want to sneak out when things go good. You know, it bothers me when people have good games and they stand in front of their locker and they're waiting for the media, and they have bad games, they sneak out the back. So, you know, I've always tried to be accountable and responsible, and I try to do that every day.
Well, talking about accountability and caring, how much of an impact have your parents had on you as far as, you know, helping you mold to making those things a priority?
They had nothing to do with it. No, I've always been vocal about how close my family is, and I think the world of my parents. I'm a little biased, but I think I have the best parents in the world. They've always been supportive, optimistic, positive. You know, they keep you humble, keep you grounded, and you know, they're good people. You know, and I would say that regardless if they weren't my parents, they're good people, and you know, I always bounce ideas and thoughts off them first.
Love your book, by the way. You know, if you haven't read that, great parenting book. Love it. Give it out all the time. But was there a defining moment that you think that happened when you look back and say, wow, I'm really glad. Didn't like it back then, but really glad my parents did da, 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 da.
Most things. When you're a kid, you don't like anything your parents say. But I never really fought it. You know, I just sort of did what they said. But there's a lot of things you don't like, and you realize as you get older, with an ER, nobody got that. You're not old, you're older. No? All right, I get it. When you get older, you realize
Made an old person's joke.
some lessons. Well, it was directed towards you. That's why I tried to clean it up.
I appreciate that. But you guys have that special relationship. I think it's amazing. That's why I love the book. I think people don't realize that book, I look at it as a parenting book, because really it was just all about how your parents guided you to a really good place to put you in a position to win.
Yeah, it was lessons that I learned, not necessarily in a position to win in baseball. I think it was
In
more
life.
of a position to win in life. I mean, there's just lessons that I've learned along the way, and I wanted to share it. I mean, that book came out quite some time ago, and I still hear good things about it. So,
Just between us and a few people here, obviously, is there something that no one else knows about you that you can share with us? Something that would surprise us?
well, if you don't know it, it's by design. So, I don't want you to know it. There's a lot of things you don't know about.
So you have the list, what I'll kind of let out of the bag and what I won't let out of the bag kind of thing?
Well, no, I just think I just think that your private life is private. What I do is obviously it's public. I get that. I get the fact that people are interested. You know, I'm interested in a lot of people as well, but I've just chosen to stay as private as I can.
I mentioned how you look great, but when
He needs me to do something again soon.
But when you, in a matter of a week or possibly 2 or 3 weeks, somewhere in the next month, your season will be over, career will be over. There's got to be some snacks and some things you want to eat. Are there some things? Because you've been eating extremely, probably very carefully and well to. Because it looks like you've lost weight compared to the past seasons.
Well, I had no choice. I mean, I had to lose weight because of my ankle, so I felt as though I had to tone up a little bit just to keep pressure off my ankle. So yeah, I do watch what I eat. I will continue to watch what I eat.
Even after you finish, are you heading to a?
It's just no schedule. You know what I mean? You know, in off season, sleep at 9, I'm up at 5:30 to go work out, and I look forward to not having to do that.
Now, we just recently read about the barbecue. That you're looking
read
for
about
having
what?
some barbecues. You're looking for
read
having a
about?
summer barbecue.
You read this? Where?
Yeah, the New Yorker just came out this morning.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
I didn't
trying-
read it. I don't.
So what happens is I have this thing on my computer, anything that gets printed about you, it's like bing, 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 bing. So, I want to, always
And
want to
you're
stay.
one that believes it all too, right?
Well, I can always, well, I figured it'd be interesting. I think it's the kind of thing you would say is I'm looking forward to having summer
I didn't read it,
barbecues.
so yeah, I do look forward to that. I've not complaining by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, I've never had a Saturday or Sunday off since I've been
High school.
10 years old.
Now, will you be that are you going to be the barbecuer? Are you going to, do I see you behind a grill and
I'm sure I'll probably be behind there at some point. Yeah.
what's the hopes and dreams though? When you take me 10 years from now, you've had a dream that's out a little bit. What's some of the hopes and dreams you have? What's
10 years from now, well, I'd like to have a family. I think I look forward to that. I just have not been able to, thank you. There's just no way I personally could have done it while I was playing. It's
Yeah.
just, too selfish. I guess I was a little too selfish to be able to juggle a family and kids, but I look forward to doing that, and I want to be an owner of a team. That's something that I'd like to do.
So marriage and kids is something part of the future for you?
Future, yeah.
Will you be a strict father?
You got the future, right? Will I be strict? I will be strict. Sorry. I will be strict. I think I'll be similar to how my parents were.
More time on turn 2, is that something you want to see evolve into more of a national thing, or do you like the size of
I
it?
don't know. It's tough. It's grown bigger and better than we ever thought it was. I mean, our first event was in Kalamazoo in '96, and we have one in New York now. It's in Florida. I mean, my sister's she's running the day-to-day operations, so I don't really know how much more we can expand. But there's plenty of kids that help out in New York, Michigan, and Florida.
She asked me to ask that question. She's afraid
Is that
that
right?
all of a sudden you're going to be
Yeah,
in the
she
office
is.
too much.
Yeah, she is afraid of me. I think retirement.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
she's running that show and doing a good job. All of a sudden, oh man, I don't know if Derek's going to be here every day. Hope we can find something for him to do. Outside of baseball, if you didn't become a baseball player, what will be your second sport to play,
To play?
professionally?
Well, first of all, I don't think I could play another sport professionally. I'm not like you. I'm extremely honest with myself, but I mean, I like playing basketball. I was scared to play football. It's just too much, but I enjoy basketball.
I would have fouled tip Mariano, trust me. 20 years, it feels like it went through a blink of an eye. When you look back on it, what jumps out at you? Is it the fans, the restaurants, the city, stadium, the old stadium?
All of it. I'm trying not to reminisce yet.
You can.
because
Take a few minutes.
Yeah, but it's tough. I play a game where you're supposed to control your emotions. I mean, it's a game of failure. You're going to fail more than you succeed, and you have to be able to control them. So I don't want. That's why at times this year's been difficult. You go places and they're showing video montages, and you feel as though you're dying, so to speak. You know what I mean? So you try not to get.
So are you telling
emotional.
me you've prepared for tonight's game like you prepared like it was the World Series?
I prepare for the games all the same. Yeah, I don't change how I prepare for a game.
And same thing. I mean, do you feel like the same level of focus, or I mean, you haven't said, I'm getting a little old. Geez, I wish this game. I can't wait for this game to be over.
No, I don't think like you. Like I said a little while ago, I don't think like that. You don't know where to go next, huh? You're stumped.
We're gonna go to the fans in the audience. We got to do one thing here, real quick here. You got to take care of the Facebook questions. So, what's your advice to parents and kids that have kids that want to become a professional player one day? That's
Don't
from
push
Jeff.
them too much. Don't push them too much. Like I was saying before, when I was younger, we used to go outside and play. Nobody does it anymore. I mean, how many times you drive down the street and you see kids playing basketball or baseball in the yard? Do good in school. I mean, you got to find something to fall back on. You always have to have something to fall back on. But I would say let your kids have fun. I think at times kids don't have fun because parents are pushing them so much.
Players you played against that you just say, I really respect, I really love the way that player played the game. Non-teammates, can you name a couple that you just really enjoyed, watching?
Oh, there's a lot.
So many.
I mean, there's so many.
You're like a 5-tool. You have players that play the whole game.
Well, I mean, there's guys that, I respect guys more so for how they handle themselves as opposed to just what they do on the field. Thank you. So yeah, there's a lot. I don't want to mention by name because then I'm forgetting somebody, but
Yeah.
For me, it's more about how you treat other people and how you handle yourself.
The first day off. The first day off after you finish playing, whenever that may be coming up. Just sleeping late, or what's the first thing you want to do?
Well, you're trying to schedule a signing, but I'm not going to do that on the first day off. So that's not going to happen. I don't know. When the season's over with, I usually sleep for a while.
Yeah.
It's you got to unwind because it's a long year. So I think more so mentally than you do physically.
Have you collected anything? Anything you're going to save from this last year, collectible-wise? You're a little bit of a closet collector.
Yeah, somewhat. But see, the thing is Brandon and Steiner Sports come and they take everything from my locker. I'm not making this up. I got a new chair every time I go from a road trip. There's a new sign up top. There's jerseys gone, pants are gone.
It's not me going in there,
hats are gone,
sneaking in and
hats are gone.
quite like that.
Am I lying though? Am I lying?
Not really. I mean, can you help it? I can't help it. I mean, everybody, it's your fault. Everybody really wants your stuff.
So if I want anything, I got to walk out in full uniform and just go home and no uniform.
So if you see Derek this week in the parking lot dressed in his full uniform, you understand what happened. But do you have a favorite collectible? Anything that you do have that, and even non-Yankee?
Yeah, I mean, I like the locker. I got my locker from the old Yankee Stadium, so I'm happy with that.
See, you got the locker.
After long negotiations. You're sweating. I told you we were going to be up here for a while.
Tonight. Well, I was going to tell you this one thing we were going to do on Thursday. I just want to know if it's a good idea. We were going to, have these commemorative bats we made, with all your career stats on there and everything. And we're gonna, if people bought that bat over the next 3 days, and if you hit a home run on the last day, they're going to get the bat for free. You like that?
Sure.
Is there a great? You seem like you're hitting the ball pretty well.
I'm worried about tonight's game, buddy.
Thursday night, you're nervous?
Tonight's game is what I'm telling you. I can't.
A lot of
I can't
people
look
coming
too
in
far,
Thursday
but
night, though.
I can't look that far ahead. I just not wired like that. I can't.
You can't look ahead.
No.
You're feeling pretty well. Could you play another season if you wanted to?
I could. I feel like I could, but I don't want to.
But you could, physically.
Physically, I feel fine, yeah.
Now, what I was going to ask you was, you were supposed to take a bunch of days off, like during this season. What happened?
I don't like days off. I really don't like days off. I think you play this game every day for a reason. It's all timing. It's repetition. So I just don't like days off. So I fight it every time Joe wants to give me one.
So you actually say, put me in. I don't want the days off unless he actually just forces you to do it.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like you played a few more games than you were thinking about playing.
Then who was thinking about playing?
Well, you read in the newspaper that
That's what I said. You believe everything you read. Stop believing everything you read.
All right. Well, in closing, we covered turn 2. We covered a little bit of some of your favorite moments. Anything you want to share with the fans and everybody that's come out and taking a 3-hour lunch break God help me if you guys are on camera here. Your boss is going to see you, but
Well, no, I mean, the fans, I've said it time and time again, it's why we play the game, and my career wouldn't have been as special without the fans, so thank you once again.
all right. Well, this is our last official meet and greet. This is like our last official meet and greet during the regular season, and you'll be a former Yankee next time we get
True,
together.
very true.
Will you be signing within a couple of days after the season?
Where's the audience question? See, thank you. Thank you.
Always worrying about tonight. Anything else you want to tell the fans?
See you tonight.
And the people are coming out.
Yeah.
Are we out of time? We're out of time. It's amazing how fast the time goes by here. We've got to take a couple more questions. Just a couple more questions. Chris Chambliss, do you have a question for Derek G?
Hey, Chris, I didn't even see you. How you doing, buddy? Good to see
And Hideki Matsui right there.
you. Hey, Masu.
And Bucky Dent.
Thank you. Hello.
What are your feelings about winding things down at Fenway?
What's that?
What are your feelings about winding things down at Fenway?
I guess it's not surprising, if you think about it. If you can't finish your career, or if I couldn't finish my career here, it's only fitting. I guess it's in Boston, so it'll be fine. I enjoy playing in Boston.
All right, last question.
Right here, Derek. Right in the middle.
Where are you?
So I've been watching you for almost 20 years, and throughout your career, you've always been so confident, even through the ups and downs, and it was always confidence, never cockiness. I'm wondering how you were able to stay so consistently confident over such a long career.
Well, it can be difficult at times. It can be very difficult at times. But I always tend to try to look at past performances where I was successful, and I try to think about those. And, if you're 0 for 20, 0 for 30, in my mind, the chances of you getting a hit really increases. So, if I'm 0 for 20, I think I'm a better hitter when I go to the plate. I guess you try to trick yourself. But yeah, I always try to take from past performances, and I never try to get too high or too low, and just play every game and treat every game like it's the same.
And also, you're perfect.
What's that thing?
So you were perfect.
No, no, really not.
Is it hard to stay honestly, with the run you've had and everything, is it hard to stay humble? Is it something you got to really?
No, because it's a very, very humbling game, and I just, ever since I was younger, I just never really liked people that talked about themselves all the time. It's just something that irritated me. So we play a humbling game, and the people around me keep me grounded.
Well, we really appreciate everything you did for us at
Thank you.
Steiner, and the partnership's been amazing. And you've just been amazing, really,
Thank
to
you
work
very
with.
much.
It's been a real pleasure and an honor. And we hope we could do this a bunch more in the upcoming years as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We're on time. Appreciate it. We need to sign the chair.